Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome back to The Last Lap, where we give you guys everything you need to know revolving around NASCAR, whether it's news, predictions, recaps, previews, everything you guys need to know. We have it right here on the channel. Today we're going to be recapping everything that happened at Texas Motor Speedway. There was a Truck and Xfinity doubleheader, and then the NASCAR Cup Series All-Star Race was on Sunday, so we're going to talk about that. But before we do, please remember to hit that subscribe button. It really does go a long way, helps the channel grow. That like button will also be appreciated, and you can also check us out on Instagram at The Last Lap News. It'll be right about here, just the name of our Instagram. You can check us out there. It'll also be linked in the description down below. We're trying to post and be more active on there as well. One of our videos actually got like 500-600 something views, so thank you guys so much for that. But as always, I always have Matthew, my friend and co-host, on the show, and we got a lot to talk about with Texas this weekend. But how are you feeling after Texas, pre-Nashville? I'm sure you're pretty excited for what's happening this weekend, but tell me how you're feeling.
Well, I am excited about going to Nashville Super Speedway this coming weekend. I mean, this is going to be an awesome experience for me, as I'm going to an inaugural Cup race, which I never thought I would ever do, and it's just amazing to get the opportunity. I got a lot to talk about the All-Star race. It's not going to be good, so... And before we start, I'd like to shout out to Joe Gets Racing right here for giving me this free autographed sports clip hat signed by Kyle Busch himself, which he drove at Sonoma last weekend. They were giving this away, and I got lucky as one of the winners. There was two winners. It was me and somebody else. And it's not every day you get Joe Gets Racing in your DMs, so that's always a bonus. Good day. So gotta thank Joe Gets Racing and Kyle Busch himself for signing it. So gotta give that shout out.
Yep, that is very cool that you were able to win a giveaway and get a Kyle Busch hat. So I'm sure some people watching this are probably pretty jealous, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead.
I don't know.
There might be a few Kyle Busch fans watching this video. I don't know. We'll see. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about the truck race and Xfinity race really quick. We're gonna try to not breeze through them, but just briefly talk about them. So for the truck race, Sheldon Creed just had a terrible race. He spun on lap 7, just got really loose and spun the truck out, hit the wall pretty hard. They were able to fix the truck and get it back out there, and then he spun again on lap 22, and the second crash ended his day. So tough day right there for Sheldon Creed, ending his day pretty early. John Hunter Nemechek won stage 1, Zane Smith won stage 2, and stage 3, Chase Elliott was in the lead, and he came in and pitted, and John Hunter Nemechek ran about as far as he could on fuel, and then he came in and pitted and ended up cycling to the lead, and John Hunter Nemechek would drive away and end up winning the Truck Series race at Texas. I have a feeling John Hunter Nemechek had the best truck anyways, so whether or not he played that pit strategy, I feel like he would have ran Chase down even if he didn't come out in front of him. But John Hunter Nemechek did get the win. Chase Elliott ran the truck race because apparently he isn't good at Texas, but ran really well in the truck race and pretty good in the Cup race as well. But I don't know why he ran the truck race, but he seemed pretty good at Texas to me. Now, I know it wasn't a good track for him in the past, like a few years ago, but I feel like he's gotten a lot better now. But anyways, John Hunter Nemechek did get the win in the Truck Series. Matthew, do you have any quick thoughts about the Truck Series race before we hop into the Xfinity one?
Well, it's no surprise John Hunter Nemechek wins again. But this time it's more impressive when a Cup driver is in the field. I feel like it makes it even more special and proves himself that he can beat a Cup driver in the Truck Series, which is always a big feature. You might as well get 2 trophies for that. If you win the race and you beat a Cup driver, you might as well get 2 trophies for that. But I feel like the only driver that can compete against John Hunter Nemechek right now is Sheldon Creed, and right now he's having a bad stretch, so they need to pick that up if he wants to compete against the best driver in the Truck Series right now. And man, Chase Elliott can't beat a truck regular? Are you kidding me? I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm just kidding. I can't really, say anything because Kyle Busch did the same thing in Richmond. But that's teammates. Anyways, It's just better, when these truck regulars be Cup drivers, because it really, shows their skill. It shows how really good they are. These Cup drivers are the best of the best, and you're a young gun, improving yourself, and you beat one of them. You really proved yourself. So, John Hunter Nemechek has beaten Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott right now, and also Ross Chastain, which he always races in there, it seems like, but still an amazing feature. So congratulations, John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That John Hunter Nemechek beating some Cup regulars definitely means a lot more, and maybe it'll catch a few eyes of some people in the future. I'm not sure what would entail for him after this year, whether he would stay in the trucks with KBM or move up to Xfinity or back up to Cup, or I don't know, but I think it's good for John Hunter to come down to the Truck Series, getting some good equipment, and beat a few Cup drivers, and maybe a few more LSM races down the road, and John Hunter will win a few more races against some Cup drivers this year. So I'm definitely pulling for him. I'm really glad that he got this opportunity at KBM after not having a really good Cup ride, and he had an okay truck ride back when he was first in the Truck Series, but I'm really glad to see him in really good equipment and proving himself as easily the best driver in the Truck Series right now, and we'll have to see how the rest of the season goes for him. Kyle Busch will make one more start at Pocono in a few weeks, and that will be his final Truck Series start, so it'll be interesting to see them go head-to-head in that race and see who can get the upper hand. But now we're going to transition into the Xfinity Series race that was also on Saturday after the Truck Series race, and there were a lot of cautions in the Xfinity race. 10 cautions in this race, most of them in the third stage. There were a few kind of at the end as well, and that third stage was really between Kyle Busch and Justin Allgaier on those restarts, and probably the last maybe 50 laps or so is between Kyle Busch and Justin Allgaier. There's a restart with 5 laps to go, and Harrison Burton went around, and I'll kind of get into this into the Cup race as well, but the track was really hot and really slick basically all weekend. So turn 1 seemed to be the trouble spot where drivers would get really loose and lose the back end of the car and back it into the outside wall. Harrison Burton did that with 4 to go, and there were 1 or 2 more restarts after that, and Kyle Busch was able to get a really good push from Austin Cindric on those final 2 restarts and launch himself out to the front and get the win. Kyle Busch wins his 99th Xfinity Series race, which is hard to believe, but you can't doubt it. He's super talented, and anytime he goes into any series race, he's a threat to win. So Kyle Busch did get the win there, 99th win. He said he'd be done after 100, but he's running Nashville, and I think he has 1 or 2 more races after that. And even apparently Joe Gibbs has already basically signed him to run for a few races next year, so that's a lie, I think. But yeah, it's always crazy to see Kyle Busch win in the Xfinity Series and just keep racking up those wins. I wonder if he'll do like the same thing in the Truck Series, if he'll have a certain number of wins he'll get to and then he'll be done in the trucks. But I'm going to stop talking because I'm not the Kyle Busch fan. But Matthew, what do you have to say about the Xfinity race and Kyle's career in the lower series?
Well, 1 more win to 100. Cannot wait, and that's going to be at Nashville. I'm not going to see that race, unfortunately, so I'll just have to catch it on TV and at some restaurant at downtown Nashville. But look, I know we get this whole argument about, oh, it's easy to race in the lower series. Look, they don't keep that same energy when Dale Jr. used to race there all the time. Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano. I mean, I don't hear that energy. I guess, there's the reason why they call this rule the Kyle Busch rule with all these regulations. Only 5 races for Cup drivers. So, 100 wins is going to be impressive for me, just because, he's still dealing with great competition. It's not like they're all just, 20-year-olds who are just, like don't know what the heck they're doing. He has gotten beaten by, young rising stars like Daniel Suarez beat him once, Austin Dillon. Brad Keselowski when he was in the Xfinity Series, Joey Logano. I mean, they all had to beat him, to prove how good they really were. So it just shows, the fans can whine about all they want, but if it's their driver, they're going to cheer for him either way. So I like him when he races the lower series, just because I like to see him racing more. I mean, it's cool when he's racing the Cup Series and wins, but also I like to see him race more than that. Gives me more opportunity to see him win and all that. But anyways, he had to earn this one. Justin Allgaier, he was really fast, so which caught me off guard too. I'm like, where in the world did he come from, Mister? Where did he come from? So that was interesting. Those last two green white checkers, I had me stressed. I'm like, come on. I'm almost afraid we're gonna blow this race because of that. But unfortunately for the competition, Kyle Busch is just that clutch. So he got it done, and we can't wait to see if he gets 100 next weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't call those restarts at Texas clutch, because it was more the second row that really helped out, because Cindric shoved Kyle Busch both of those times at the end and literally shoved him way out in front of the lead. But Kyle Busch is really good. He's really good at restarts.
He had to not spin his tires too.
Yeah, he is good at restarts. I'll give him that. And he gave the little hand out the window to tell Cindric to go. So it wasn't all him clutch, but it was a mix. But you can't deny he's really good at restarts. But Austin Cindric did give him a really big push. But we're gonna talk about the Cup race now, the All-Star race, and I think Matthew and I have some very mixed opinions. So this might get very interesting as we talk about this debate. But
I've been waiting for this one.
We might be like Skip and Shannon and Stephen A and Max Kellerman, and we might go at it a little bit here. But we're gonna go ahead and hop into it.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk about We're gonna talk about the Open first, and so kind of like what I said with the Xfinity and the truck race, the track was really hot and really slick. 145 degrees was the track temp they showed on the broadcast, which is one of the hottest I've ever seen, or anybody's ever seen as far as a track temp. So it was really slick. Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Eric Jones, they all got loose and lost their car again and slid. And even in the main event, Christopher Bell did it as well. So the track was really, really slick. In the first stage of the Open, Ross Chastain came all the way from the back to the front and won the first stage of the Open to advance to the All-Star race. He made a late pass on Tyler Reddick on one of the restarts there at the end to take the win. And then stages 2 and 3, I don't think there were any cautions in those. There might have been one caution, but Tyler Reddick won the second one. Almirola won the third one to advance to the All-Star race as well. Matt DiBenedetto wins the fan vote. I was a little bit surprised by that, but not really. Some surprises I thought that didn't make the show were Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Ricky Stenhouse, Eric Jones, and Daniel Suarez. Those are kind of the five that I looked at that they could have possibly raced their way in, but they were not able to. So, Matthew, do you have any quick thoughts about the Open or the fan vote, or drivers that stuck out to you that were surprised you didn't make it to the show?
Well, I'm going to do my Open reactions with the All-Star reaction, so I'll wait on that. But the fan voting, I thought Timmy Hill, the GOAT, was going to win. Timmy Hill, come on, man. He got robbed. We got to get Timmy, we got to go to NASCAR headquarters. We got to get Timmy Hill into the All-Star race next year. But in all seriousness, I like Matty D. I think he's an amazing guy, one of my favorites. So it's nice to see him win the fan vote.
That almost reminds me, when you bringing up Timmy Hill, almost reminds me when freaking Josh Wise won it a few years ago with the Dogecoin car. I was like, how did that car win the fan vote? That was, oh my goodness, that was so cringy. But yeah, we're going to move on from that. We're going to talk about the actual All-Star race now. It was 6 stages, and I'm not going to explain them again. I explained that in our preview video, and that gave me a headache. But if you really, really want to know how the stages looked, you can go watch that video or look it up on NASCAR.com. But anyways, I'm just going to say the first 4 stages really set the pace for the rest of the race, because after the fourth stage, they combined the finish of everybody from those first four stages, and the lowest cumulative finish, they would rank them from lowest to highest. And there were 3 inversions in those first 3 stages that kind of jumbled the field up, and track position was really important. If you were at the front of the field after those inversions, you would probably stay up there unless your car wasn't that good. So Kyle Larson started on the pole. He won the first stage. Ryan Blaney, I think, started first for the second one and won that one. And so, yeah, track position was really important, and these inversions kind of shook it up. But at the end of the day, the best cars did make their way up through the field. Kyle Larson, William Byron, Chase Elliott, the 3 of them looked really good. They were, especially William Byron, he could really make his way through traffic, and he ended up getting the lowest cumulative finish, so he started on the pole for the 5th segment. And they, after lap 20, or before lap 20, I'm sorry, they had to do a green flag pit stop, and the fastest crew would win $100,000, and that included the driver getting down to pit road, coming to his pit box, changing tires, blah, 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 getting off of pit road. So it was the whole thing. It wasn't just the pit stop, it was the driver and the crew. So I thought that was a really cool idea, but the Fox broadcast didn't really show it that much. I don't think there was one timed pit stop the entire time. But yeah, it was a cool idea, but NASCAR just didn't execute it that well. And I made an Instagram post earlier this week with the pit crew challenge thing. They definitely need to bring that back. That was one of the coolest events in All-Star Weekend. But Chase Elliott's crew did win the $100,000 fastest driver/pit crew, so that was pretty cool. Brad Keselowski got super lucky after those green flag pit stops, because he was coming off of pit road and the caution came out, and he was in front of Chase Elliott, so he got the lead, and Chase would win the stage, but Brad finished second in that stage, I'm pretty sure, so he gained a lot of track position from that. And the final stage was really good racing. I'm pro. No, okay, no, scratch that. I'm not saying I'm pro this package, because I am not pro this package. But for this race, it was good racing. Anyways, no, for this race, it was good racing. But so the final stage came down to Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Larson for the most part. Kyle Larson gave Chase Elliott a huge shove on the restart, the 10 laps to go for the final stage. And after Kyle Larson shoved Chase Elliott down the backstretch, he went to the outside, like really high, like out of the traction compound, and made a pass on Chase Elliott. They were 3 wide with Brad Keselowski, and it was really good racing. Kyle Larson got to the lead. Keselowski was in second. He was there, but he wasn't quite there enough to make a pass on Kyle Larson. And Kyle Larson would drive away and win his 3rd straight race of the season. Whether it's points paying or not, I'm saying it's his 3rd straight win of the season. Winning the All-Star race and $1 million. His 2nd straight All-Star win as well, because he did not race last year in 2020, but he won it in 2019. So that's a recap of the race. I'll give my opinions in a second, but Matthew, what are your thoughts/reactions to the All-Star race, the package, the format? Go ahead, spill it out. Let me hear all your thoughts. Go ahead, let me hear it.
Wait, hang on. I gotta show you guys my reaction to the race the whole time right here. Yep, that was me the whole time. Okay, where do I even start with this? You know what? Get rid of this package. Get rid of this track. Get rid of this stupid. What is it? Mixing up the field, whatever that thing's called. Get it out of here. I mean, it's. Oh gosh, where do I even begin? Well, okay. First of all, the first stage, it looks semi-promising. I thought, okay, it was pretty decent. And then we get to the second, third stage of the Open. I was like, oh great. This is gonna be a long night if the Open was like this. Hey, well, you know, I was right. Look, I think they really tried lowering the horsepower of this package. I mean, that's not You're not going to get better racing with that high spoiler and that lower horsepower. You're just making it worse. It's like they think of the complete opposite. High horsepower, low spoiler, better racing. High spoiler, low horsepower. They think it's better than that. It's not. I mean, it's just I don't even know. I'm sorry. I just have no words about this race. I didn't enjoy it all. All those gimmicks they put in made it even worse. It made it really unwatchable. I mean, just let the guys race. Don't change the feel. Just because you think it's exciting, I don't. Us, like, hardcore fans, they think it's a joke. I mean, and the fact that nobody can pass on any of those, like, field switching. What are those things called, Jimmy? What are those things called?
So the second one was like a full field inversion, and then the first and third one was like this wheel inversion, where it had 8th through 12th. So if the wheel, it was not even a wheel, it was just like randomly chosen by the fans or whatever. But if it was like 8th, then they would invert.
Okay, invert.
Whatever. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, as hardcore racing fans, that just makes me not want to watch that. I mean, I don't see any car of Formula One ever trying anything like that, or even thinking about that, something like that. Look, I know it's an all-star race, non-points race, doesn't really affect much, but I don't want to see it anywhere. I don't want to see any race, any non-points race, points race, playoff. I don't want to see any of that. Throw it away, and they need to go back from scratch next year's All-Star race. Just go back to 4 or 5 stages, and just let whoever's fast, just let them race. There's no reason to put them in the back for no reason at all, and let the guys who have been training in the back all day long up front and hold everybody up. It's just ridiculous. And don't even get me started with this pit crew challenge. What an absolute joke that was. I mean, Fox Sports and NASCAR treated it like it was an absolute joke. Barely mentioned anything about it. And they're like, oh, let's find out when the commercial comes out. Like, they had no clue what was going on with that. They need to never do that again. And if you want to do the pit crew challenge, do it during the week or that same day earlier when they actually have 2 cars lined up, and let the pit crews do their magic and race to see who is fastest. Just like what we posted on our page. Let them do that instead of this nonsense here. I mean, they treat it like an absolute joke. Sorry, hey, it's not just because it's not Elliott won. Duh. I'm going to say whoever wins it. I just think it was an absolute joke. But anyways, the only thing entertaining was that final stage. The final 10 laps was kind of entertaining. I'll give it that. That was the only thing I actually enjoyed. But the rest of the race, though, that was bad for me. Hey, if you think it was good, fine. That's your opinion. But from what I saw in all the years I've been watching the All-Star race since 2007, it was an absolute disaster to me. And how about instead of making all the clubs short track, why don't we switch up and give Texas the short track, please? I don't want to see this track on the schedule anymore. It's just painful to watch everybody, barely anybody not knowing how to pass there. Like, only 1-2 guys knew how to pass there, and everybody else was like, where do I go? Can I do the high lane? Low? Nope. Can't pass there at all. And it makes it worse with this package, with this Gen 6 car. Like, all the worst things combined. So, that's all I had to say. If your opinion, if you think it was good, good. That's just my opinion. So, I thought it was absolute disaster for me, and I don't want to see Texas anymore.
So, I'm not going to say this was an amazing race. Like, I'm not going to say it was a 10 out of 10, because it wasn't. It wasn't a 10 out of 10. but I think there's some potential here. Like, I really think there is. I feel like you might not like the inversion thing, and I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I like the idea of inverting the entire field, maybe once out of the 6 stages. Maybe once. I wouldn't do it 3 times in a row, because they inverted it literally 3 times in a row. But, like, maybe after the 2nd or 3rd stage, maybe just invert the whole field once. Just once. Because...
What? Whoa. Hey, something is wrong with you, man. Come on. We shouldn't even have this in racing. I mean, this is something you put your Saturday night dirt national race in your local dirt track. No, we should not even have this conversation. Inversion of the field doesn't belong in NASCAR, doesn't belong in any motorsports. So NASCAR, do not dare even have any thoughts about this, because this, to us hardcore fans, that is a joke, a slap to the face to all of us right there. So don't even think about trying that.
I don't think it should be a thing like every weekend, but I think it could be. There's potential for the All-Star race for them to do it once. I'm just saying there's potential. I'm not saying they should, but I think there's some potential there. Maybe not at Texas. Maybe at a track where passing is actually good. Like maybe a short track. Like if they eventually run the All-Star race at Martinsville or something. I feel like that would be really cool, because you could see a lot of bumping and banging at Martinsville if they invert the field just one time out of the 6 stages. It's just a suggestion. I'm not saying they should do it or something, but I feel like NASCAR went a little too over the top with the inversion thing, with just doing it 3 straight times in a row. I do like the idea of the cumulative finish thing, though. Like, I really do like that. I liked how that set the lineup for stage 5, and that wasn't the final stage either. They could race through stage 5 and then do the green flag pit stop. I really like that idea too. Not the pit crew challenge, but I liked the idea that they had to do a green flag pit stop, because I think they did that back in the day too, like way back at Charlotte, that they had to make a green flag pit stop at some point. So I really like that they had to do a green flag pit stop in stage 5. And yeah, so I definitely agree with you that they should bring back the pit crew challenge or do something different, and qualifying too, because qualifying for the All-Star race is absolutely amazing. I love how they do qualifying, because they can come down pit road as fast as they want and get in that pit box and take off as fast as they want. But anyways, hopefully they bring that back next year. I know that wasn't in the thing because of COVID this year and everything, but I really hope they bring that back next year. But anyways, regarding the package, I'm with you. I don't think they should use this package anymore. Hopefully they don't next year with the next gen car. Lower downforce, higher horsepower is definitely the way to go. I feel like that would have been crazy this week, just with how slippery the track was and how hot it was. I feel like the drivers have really had their hands full. Like, if you think they had their hands full this weekend with high downforce, I feel like it would have been even crazier if they had that low downforce package. But yeah, I don't like seeing the cars full throttle through turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 at 1.5 miles. So hopefully NASCAR considers that moving forward. There's only a few more races with the package, so hopefully we can see some good racing the rest of this year and they get rid of that package for next year. But I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to talk about? Talk about the package, the format. I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and rate the race now. I feel like you're just going to like absolutely destroy this race. Like, you're going to give it like a 0 out of 10.
So
but
you go first. I want to hear you first.
So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't amazing, but in my opinion, it wasn't terrible. I don't know, like the cars were always really close together on those restarts, and the most laps they ran on the stage was 30. It was 15 lap segments, and the cars were pretty much all bunched together the whole time. Sure, maybe nobody really passed, but nobody really got out to a lead more than a second long. So it's kind of a mix with NASCAR in this package. I feel like they either want the cars together and nobody can pass, or spread out and people can pass. But I don't know, I feel like it wasn't as terrible as I think some people are saying, but I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, and yeah, I'm just gonna let you go ahead and destroy my rating, just sink it to the bottom of the ocean. But go ahead, give me your rating for this race.
I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. I could go even worse. I wish. But that last stage pretty much saved me from absolutely killing it. Because the last stage was actually pretty nice. I'll admit that. It was pretty good. I mean, it had me on the edge of my seat. I'll give it credit. But everything else was absolute pure garbage in my opinion. But it was a 3 out of 10 for me. Man, I just feel bad for all those fans in Texas, man. I mean, the best NASCAR fans out there really had to watch this trash. I mean, I just feel bad for them fans, man. In the 100-degree heat, 95, 100 degrees out there, really burning up to watch that hot trash out there. Good Lord. I feel so bad for them fans. Texas Motor Speedway should have just refunded every ticket to all them fans out there. Man, I feel bad for y'all, anyone that went there. But anybody who enjoyed it, I'm happy for you. Anybody who didn't enjoy it, I feel really bad for you. So, 3 out of 10 for me. I already said my piece.
And briefly talking about the fans, can I just briefly address that concert thing that happened in the grandstands? Like,
Oh my gosh, I should have thought of that too!
Literally, coming to the green flag, the dude was still singing in the grandstands. Like, they were out of turn 4, and as soon as he stopped singing, Mike Joy's like, green flag! And I'm like, you gave, like, no pre-race analysis to this thing. Like, they just did 10 pace laps, and the guy singing the whole time. Like, I feel like it would have been fine if he did it for, like, a minute or 2 minutes, but he sang the whole song as the cars are going around the track, and like as soon as he stopped singing, they're racing and going green. I was like, that was do you have any brief thoughts about this? We gotta wrap this episode up. We're gonna get like sued by NASCAR or something if we keep it up. But do you have any like brief comments about that before we wrap it up?
I can care less if they do. I mean, I'm giving my honest thoughts here. Who cares? Anyways, look, I mean, God bless him. God bless the man. I think he's really good from what I heard. So he's really talented from what I heard. He's really good. I'm gonna admit it, he's really good. I mean, I really like to listen, but I don't know if it was his plan or NASCAR, Texas plan. I don't know whose plan was it. But they had all day long to do that, or before the race to do that. I mean, they could have done it before driver or after driver's introductions. They had plenty of time. I don't know why they had to do it right before the green flag of the race. So that didn't make sense to me at all. But God bless him. I think he's really talented. I liked what I heard. But they should have done that way before the drop of the green flag. And when I knew they were going to do that, I was like, I'm in for an interesting night tonight. And that just proved my point, so yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely just something adding to the fire for this race. But I'm going to briefly go over our fantasy points. So you got 2 points for your Truck and Xfinity picks. I was scared you were going to sweep the weekend again on me. I was pretty scared after you got those Truck and Xfinity picks right. But I did get the Cup, my main pick, right. So I gained 1 point on you. I got 3 points, you got 2. So I chewed into your lead by just 1, which I guess is better than nothing. But you now have 20 and I have 11, so 1 point off the lead. Woo, let's go. I'm slowly coming back. But Nashville will be next weekend. Triple header, I believe, at Nashville. Trucks Friday night, Xfinity Saturday, Cup on Sunday. Matthew will be there, and I'll get to make my picks first for once. So hopefully I can get some more points. But yeah, Matthew will be there next weekend at Nashville, hopefully getting some good content for us there. I think we ranted enough about this whole Texas All-Star race. Let us know what you guys think about the race, because I'm really interested to see what you guys think if you ended up watching it. If you didn't watch it, maybe check out some highlights or something from the race. I don't know. But let us know either on the comments or on our Instagram posts or whatever, how you guys felt about this race. We'll be back with you on Friday. Oh, also, sorry for this video coming out on probably Tuesday when you guys see it, but like Sunday night races literally destroy our schedule. But anyways, apologies for that, but our next video will be out Friday previewing Nashville. But until then, we will see you guys in the next episode.